Alright guys, welcome back to another video. Today I decided to go and salvage through the carnage of the Typhon here, and just trying to see what parts are salvageable and what's not. And pretty much that's what's going to determine whether I just buy a new chassis or just buy a slide or a roller. So if I have enough parts here that's salvageable, then I pretty much think I can just get a chassis and just throw on the salvageable parts on there. But if I have more parts I need to replace than salvageable, then I just go with a slide or a roller. So the rear, this is the rear. So, and for the most part, the only thing that's not salvageable on the rear is the lower arm here, the A arm here. The shock is in good. The shock isn't damaged. Shock tower isn't damaged. The body posts are not damaged. This actually, let's see here. I think it's the one for this one. Yep. Okay, yeah. So the axles, they're good. They're not damaged. No, they're not damaged at all. I got the pin that goes in here. Still got the bearing inside there. Bearing is still intact on that, so got that. So that's still good. All the rear is still intact and in good shape. So I took the hexes off. I put them in a bag so I didn't lose those. So everything in the rear is good. Even inside there. Yep, all that is good. So the only thing that snapped really back here was that upper link here that snapped. And like I said, spoiler is good. I just took it off. So for the rear, the majority I can still use on the rear. Alright, so the front. So this did the bell crank is gone, so I do have to replace the bell crank. So that will have to be replaced. That snapped completely. Yep, that snapped completely, the bell crank. Although the steering arm and all that is still in good shape, I think I'm gonna go ahead and upgrade that anyway to aluminum. So I will do that. Man, yeah, this is where most of the damage took place, because that's where it hit it, right? So the diff itself is not damaged from what I'm looking at. I just got to take it out. The bearing is still intact in there, so the axles are still intact, not broken, which that's actually surprising to me. I would have thought that the A-arms in the front would have broke instead of the one that one in the back on the rear. So it's crazy how this is. And the reason why I will say this, I think the reason why a lot of these components didn't break up front here was the fact that the T-bone bumper was on it, and it took all the, I think, the impact into the chassis itself, and that's why the chassis exploded and couldn't and broke into two pieces. But as you see, it's nothing really damaged, like component wise. The lower arms, the axles, the shock tower. The only thing you can that's really just broke here, which I knew it would break a being, was the part where the bumper was connected to. Yeah, this front brace here is bent. Where the arms connect, that's bent. Yeah, this thing just broke in half up under the chassis and separated right there. So let's bring out this other. I got another bag that I got the little smaller pieces in. Hold on. Yeah, so this is the T-bone racing bumper that I had on it, and I'm telling you, this thing has no damage on it. This was the front. Did the impact there. Yeah, as you can see, the impact, I mean, there's a head on, and there's no crack. I mean, you can see like a little scuff mark there in the front. But as far as that, that's it on this thing, man. Let's scrape at the bottom, but yeah, this thing is not ripped. It still can be used again. But I think this right here actually saved a lot of the components up front here from not being damaged. Like I said, I can use everything up front. Everything up front. Like I said, just the chassis itself just cracked in two. So I basically got the whole front, mostly all the rear, just the arm I gotta replace, and link I will have to replace. Got the wing, got the axle there. Thing I know, and see, it's the bell crank I gotta replace up front. That's what I have to do on that. This right here needs to be replaced. It's broke there, so this was the bearing that went on the drive shaft to make the stabilize the drive shaft here. That's good. These are the front posts. So they're intact, they're good. Front body posts. And this is the one of the studs for the bell crank. It's bent. And yeah, it's bent, so probably gonna have to just replace that. And this thing here, it did have a little damage on, I think, on this end. Kind of bent out of place. I tried to bend it back in because I tried to get the bearing off, but it wouldn't slide off because it was expanded on the end. So I tried to go around it evenly and press it back in. But as you can tell, it's still got it's got a little bit of a warp to it, so it won't just slide off, but I can get it off. The bearing is good. I probably just have to replace this because although it look like it still can be used, it probably won't be as solid as it need to be. You don't want to cause any more damage once you do uh, rebuild. So I will be. Uh, so I'm thinking. Oh well, just thought about it too. The motor plate for the rear I would need. Like I said, I had the Typhon 3S motor plate set up in here, so that I will have to get. I'll have to buy that. Like I said, I have to get another one of these hot racing lockers or spools, you want to call it, because like I said, I just don't want to take a chance on this. I mean, the teeth are intact and everything, but it's just like I said. I don't know. We'll see. That's on both sides. This piece, and it's seen better days, but it's still in good shape. Just don't look all pretty red anymore. But other than that, so now it's basically just weighing out my options. I mean, like if I want to put it back the way it was, the way I had it, for the speed that I actually had, then I'm gonna have to spend out maybe just a little more money. But if I want it back the way it came, somewhat stock, because when it came stock, I couldn't take it, man, how slow it was, and I started changing parts. I still got parts from some of the stock parts. Like this is the gear cover here, here for the stock setup, and this was the motor mount and gear cover for the Mega. So if I wanted to do that, and I could do that, but I'm not. Want it back the way I had it. I got a lot of extra parts running. Like I said, I still got the setup where I took the front bumper piece off to put the T-bone racing bumper on. And the servo mount is still intact, so we're going to reuse that. So I don't think this chip was the receiver box, but I don't use the receiver box for the receiver. So this was the stock slipper clutch setup. So I think I got enough pieces here to get the chassis and throw everything on here. I will have to get a drive shaft. So bell crank. Let's see. I think I need a bell crank. Oh, I need the whole front steering links too. I just thought about that. Hold on. So need the bell crank, and the left front link here is broke. Need that. And I'll actually need this whole like bulkhead set up. So this whole piece needs to be replaced. And I guess that would be considered like the part of the shock tower. Anyway, so I'm gonna basically compare the cost of like if I can get a cheap slider roller to start this rebuild on, or just get a chassis and get the parts that I need that's need to be replaced. All right, guys, this was just a short video trying to salvage what parts I could salvage after the Typhon crash. Like I said, we're gonna try to get this thing rebuilt. I don't know how soon though, because I got another project in head of it, but we'll be doing it. for sure though. And it's gonna be better than before. So 86 miles per hour, that was in the past. When it comes back, no telling how fast it will go. And we're gonna make sure we have a better radio, or make sure we don't lose a signal, because that's what I think end up happening, because uh, the spur, the pinion gear and the grub screw, the pinion gear and the grub screw was still intact, and so evidently just had to lose signal, because I couldn't even turn it either. So I tried to, and when I knew I couldn't stop, I said, okay, let me try to turn the wheel, and nah, because I rather it had, I flipped it or spun it out or something like that, trying to, kind of slow it down a little bit by turning, but that wasn't the case, and so yeah, I think it just lost signal altogether. So, and that's was with a Dumbo RC radio. So, and I didn't have any other issues that day doing those passes. It was just that one last time, and it never failed that one last time. But all right, guys, y'all be safe, and I'll see y'all on the next one. Yeah.